Hello, everybody. It's me. We're going to have Denise from Mountain Spirit Herbals on today, and I'm really excited to have her. We are going to have Smoka Jane on Saturday night at 7:30. Everybody, so keep an eye on me, and I'm going to give you a little bit of music before we get Denise here from Smoka. There we go. Hey, Smoka. So we have Denise's teas today. How are you doing, Denise, today? Good morning.
I'm doing pretty good today. I had a nice rest last night, and I'm taking my time just doing really well.
And tell us a little bit about your journey to PDX.
Oh, to Portland, it was very uneventful. I went and drove in my car for 4 hours, and then I just pretty much stayed in my vehicle. I didn't do much while I was there except stay at a friend's house who had an apartment. And other than that, I just pretty much drove there and drove back. I went to the liquor store and I went to the, can you still see me?
Yes, we got you perfectly. You're beautiful. Yeah.
I went to the liquor store and then I went to the place where I picked up bottles and I drove home. So mostly the only person I really hung out with is myself.
Well, I talked to you earlier this morning. You wanted to talk about your beautiful teas. I have a few of them right here. We have everybody's cold tea.
Everybody's cold tea.
We have winter root tea, and we have herbal chai. And I was under the impression when you said that there was no licorice in the herbal chai. I've got licorice in mine.
There is licorice in the herbal chai. I never said there was no licorice.
Oh, which was the one? Which one?
Herbs will disguise the flavor of licorice.
Oh, great. Okay, yeah, it's really beautiful.
There's no licorice in the balancing tea, which is one you're not holding up.
Oh, okay, that's the one I don't have. Well, everybody, here are the beautiful teas that you have. What's your stock on your teas?
Right now, they're looking pretty good. Here, can you see? If I turn this around.
Yeah, fantastic. That looks really beautiful.
So I have that, and I've just been ordering as many herbs as I can get. I'm sure the herb companies are slammed as well as everybody else, but I managed to get most of the herbs I need to restock all of my teas as needed, unless I sell hundreds of bags.
Oh.
What I wanted to talk about is I do decoctions. And so this is a picture of my morning blend that I actually made yesterday morning and didn't completely finish.
Can you show us the bottom of that jar? We didn't see the bottom. Is that where your Bumby is? Oh, okay. So you put stuff in a jar and
then I use this a 64-ounce jar. And then I use a strainer and I pour it into a cup because I want to make sure that I'm getting at least 64 ounces of tea every single day, because I think that keeping my immune system as healthy as possible, if I do end up with the virus, will be the best thing I can do.
Is there a protocol for, I know some like African teas, do you cook them all day? What about temperature and cooking your teas? Tell us about that.
When you're cooking what is called, when you're cooking a decoction, you'd say I put a gallon of water in with about 2, maybe 3 handfuls of strong root herbs. And I will simmer that down until I have a half gallon of water left. And then I will pour that into my pot and cook that down. And that root herbs are like the winter root tea, Jeffrey, you showed, or the herbal chai. And that takes between 15 and 40 minutes, depending on the heat, whether you have an electric burner or a propane burner. I tend to bring it to a rolling boil and then I put my burner on the lowest temperature possible, and I just let the liquid slowly evaporate. That's if I'm making a decoction. If I'm making an infusion, which I'll use some roots, I also will use leaves, and I will just put the herbs in the bottom of my jar, and then I'll pour hot water on and maybe a dab of honey. Right now I'm using my wild cherry bark syrup as honey just because it's really coats the throat and helps to I'm prone to allergies, so if I start getting an allergy, I won't know whether it's the coronavirus or an allergy. So I want to try to keep my body as healthy as possible. My husband and I have been eating 2 really hearty meals a day and then fruit in between as snacks and stretching every morning and exercising. And as of this week, I'm limiting my town runs for post office or deliveries to Tuesdays and Fridays.
So people can still order from you at mountainspiritherbals.com.
People can still order. I'm still filling orders. Local people in Port Townsend can call me, and I have a space outside my shop where I'll fill the order in my shop, and they can pick it up in the shed right off of my door. And I have a little box where if they're not paying by credit card, they can put in their cash or check. And I have had probably 30 people use this service so far in the last 4 days.
Okay, because I want some cough syrup for sure. Do you have any?
I do. I just made 124 ounces and just 8 ounces. And so I have all of that available as well. I still have quite a few tinctures. I just made a big batch of Lonation. I made another 5 gallons of my Kick-Ass blend, which will be ready by the end of next week. It can be used. I still have Golden Seal and Echinacea. It's amazed how stocked up I was. I thought I was stocked up for a couple of years, but apparently I stocked up for coronavirus.
So the teas that you sell to the public, what's your method of drinking these on a daily basis? 2 cups, and how do you heat them? How do you like to infuse them?
I drink more than 2 cups, Jeff. I drink the whole 64 ounces if possible. And if it's leaves like my herbal vitamin blend or my Everybody's Cold blend, I'll take a handful and put it in the bottom of a 64 ounce or 32 ounce jar, preferably 64 ounces. And then I pour boiling water on it, teaspoon of honey or the wild cherry bark syrup. Wait about an hour to 45 minutes and start straining it into my cup, and I drink it all day long. I'm always drinking liquid. I try to keep a cup of liquid full at all times. Sometimes I have several because I also like to intersperse drinking my tea with drinking a lot of water. So it means I'm spending a lot of time using the restroom, but at the same time, I feel like an old Chinese acupuncturist once told me that you can eliminate the mucus many ways, and the best way to do it is through your bathroom.
And so, what is your source of water these days? How do you
City water?
City
I have
water?
A filter on my city water.
Okay, great. Just a normal filter.
Yeah, one of those charcoal filters that you plug in and you change every year. A Miracle something, I can't remember, but it's solid charcoal.
Fantastic.
And then I boil a lot of my water because I prefer hot water to cold water.
Mm-hmm.
So we have what most people would use as a coffee pump. We fill up every morning with hot water as our tea pump. And so my husband also drinks a lot of tea all day and then switches to water. Go ahead.
How about a lot of people drink warm lemon water in the morning upon waking?
Warm lemon water is fine. It helps to balance out your pH. There's nothing wrong with lemon water. I was just going to say, the tea I was just telling you how to make. I also do another thing is I take, say, 1 pound of my tea and mix it in with 2 gallons of water, and I boil it for 20 to 40 minutes, strain it, and then put it into a pot with some juice, and then I mix that together. And usually we press our own apples, so apple juice is often the juice I use. And then I put it into little jars, juice jars or canning jars, whatever I have. And my husband and I drink on that when we want a cold, refreshing drink. We'll keep the whole top of the refrigerator will be filled with tea and juice. And that's also a great way, especially kids, but my husband's kind of a big kid and he likes his tea with juice.
Maybe,
so it's a great way to get liquid in you.
maybe I'll ask my straw maker. I can order a 50 pack or something. He's here in Port Townsend, out at Egg and I Road. Young kid that's making my beautiful straws, glass straws. Maybe you can add them to your website.
Maybe we could do that. That would be good. I know straws are a big thing.
And I know that you like the glass straw because you can see when it's dirty, the bamboo might carry bacteria.
Well, and the problem I have with bamboo in this climate is the mildew. We used to drink mate out of only gourds instead of cups, and no matter how dry we thought we got them, they would start mildewing in a couple of weeks. And I'm afraid that bamboo may do that as well. And, bamboo is great for any drier climate, but we live in the Pacific Northwest, and I often fondly refer to it as the Pacific Northwest.
Well, everybody, we're in the Pacific Northwest, and we're with Denise today. She made a successful journey down to Portland. We are still social distancing. I went to the supermarket for the first time yesterday, and I was all, wearing my gloves and had the mask, just did everything, saw friends, but was distant, and came home. Tell us a little bit about your tinctures today. I have some of them right here that you gave us. I have actually.
The reason I went to Portland, Jeff, is because I was out of droppers and bottles. So on a normal March year, I am selling maybe 100 tinctures in the whole month.
Right.
And this March, I'm selling 100 tinctures often a day. Tinctures are herbs concentrated, infused in alcohol. So vanilla extract is considered somewhat of a tincture. And what I do is, over the years, I've learned formulas that for certain illnesses. I do not have a formula that I know of that would work for coronavirus, but I do have things that will help. I know that there's a lot on the web pages right now about Lomation and OSHA, the hemlock and carrot family herbs that are really potent and antivirals. There's a lot on the web pages about elderberry. There's a lot going around right now. I like using Lomation for viruses. I consider it a very strong herb. I don't consider using it as a preventative, more as once you got it.
And what form do you have Lomation in?
I have Lomation only in tincture form. Lomation has to be used fresh, and it's, hard to keep a fresh herb available. It's not a forever stock of Lomation. Where we live, there is an abundance of it. And Ryan Drum, who is a fabulous herbalist on Waldron Island, also uses the seeds and tells stories that the natives would plant it because in the spring they would come, when they bring their boats to Waldron to do fishing, they would leave it planted there, and so they would have wild food to eat. I have never experienced that. Once again, where I live, it's too wet. I did get some root last week from somebody that was fresh and had sprouts in it. So I put it in a pot, and I'm hopeful, but not expectation. It
So,
likes it hot and dry.
so if we have a tincture from you of lomatium, what's the shelf life?
8 to 10 years.
Oh, but you said that it's best used
In
fresh.
tincture form. Yes, fresh tincture.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so the freshness is when you get it, you need to tincture it.
Right. When you're dealing with an herb like that, it's called fresh tincturing. So when I get a lot of my plant material, there's a lot of plant material that's not very medicinal dry. One example is dandelion root. I know that it's a very common, popular herb, but to get its medicinal properties, especially its liver properties and its kidney properties, you really want it fresh. So as an herbalist, I will harvest my dandelion root probably in another week or two, dig it up, wash it really well, chop it up, and put it in alcohol to tincture. While I'm doing that,
Do you
I'll also
dehydrate it
probably
first? Do you dehydrate it first?
no, fresh,
Okay,
fresh,
fresh.
just
Okay.
like you eat a carrot.
Okay.
You wash it, you brush off the dirt, and you chop it up, and you put it in a jar. You fill that jar, whatever size it is, with your plant material, and you pour your alcohol on it. At least minimum 80 proof alcohol. I prefer vodka.
And what is your experience with the hand sanitizer versus washing hands?
I made some hand sanitizer, which I sold to the Port Townsend Farmers Market, and I have about 46 of them, 47 of them that I'm going to be selling probably at the market next Saturday. I'm going to do a wait and see whether I'll be there or not. I won't be making hand sanitizer a second time. I used Everclear aloe vera from my own aloe vera plant and a little bit of aloe vera juice, which I purchased, witch hazel, and it came out really good, but it's incredibly expensive to make with high-end ingredients. So with there being no rubbing alcohol available right now, I just used Everclear, which I was able to get 2 bottles of in Portland.
I was in Safeway yesterday. They're stocked with Everclear. There's about 12 bottles there.
Oh, good.
That's
I'll
it.
probably go pick some up.
Yeah, at Safeway. So everybody, we're with Denise today. Any final words on this beautiful morning about children and protocol? Not about turning the music up and watching good movies, but about daily routine.
Make sure your children are drinking lots of liquids as well. That's why I do the juice in the teas, because children are more likely to drink a tea if it feels like something comfortable to them. Not all children need the juice, but some children really refuse to drink teas if they're unfamiliar with the flavor. Cinnamon sticks and hibiscus usually will increase the flavor of any tea and make it easier for you to get your children to drink it. Get your kids out there doing exercise. If they're alone children, go out there with them. If they have siblings, send them outside in a safe area in your yard or in the woods where they're not going to encounter any other children, and let them just work out their energy. It'll be good for you. It'll be good for them.
Fantastic. Well, everybody, this is our Friday morning with Denise. Here's a little OCF cup to you. We're really blessed to have you.
A little northwest or southwest cup to you.
There you go. And when I first saw this at the Oregon Country Fair, the yes, yes, yes banners everywhere, I was really impressed. And so that's my cup, everybody. We're going to keep infusing and having Denise's products in our house and talk to her every Friday and see how we're going. Have the numbers slowed down that you've heard in Washington?
Well, our illustrious orange-haired chimpanzee is not allowing people to get enough testing kits. So we don't know if the numbers are slowing down because people are not being tested. People are going to the hospital and being told, if you get sicker, come back and we'll test you. So I have a person on my property who is not in my home, who lives here, who went yesterday to be tested because she's feeling quite ill. And that was what they told her. Well, you can decide to be testing, but we don't have enough of these. So only if you get sicker. I don't think you actually have it, is what the doctor told her. And so she came home somewhat in tears because she felt like the doctor left the decision up to her and kind of guilt tripped her because she's a younger person.
So what is there a hypocrisy?
That's happening all over.
Is there a hypocrisy going on, or does the United States actually have no testing kits?
Well, I don't know the answer to that, Jeff, but I'm going to assume that our government and the Republicans in power do not want to put out the actual numbers, because if they do, then they'll have to admit that it's a true pandemic, and that people need to take care of themselves. And maybe some of the million and trillion and billionaires that all have this money bound up will start doing something. But as long as we keep it hidden, we don't have to tell. And we have a terrible administration right now. I can't even listen anymore. I just turned off my radio and I'm reading the local papers. And every hour every day I listen for about 10 minutes, and I get so sad with what I'm hearing that I just turn it off again.
So what is your recommendation about groceries?
My recommendation is we all need to eat. Try and buy enough food and quantity, and realize that you can do without a lot of things. So, rice and beans as meals. Buy food that sustains you and is healthy for you. We have, and at least in our food co-op, I haven't been anywhere else because that's where I do my deliveries, and also the corner store. There is a lot of local produce right now. And so you can eat a lot of local produce. And try and support our local people, because they're not getting rich off of your support. They're just trying to feed their families and hopefully doing good for other people. And I think those of us who are still working are trying really hard to help those aren't. Every time I'm in a grocery store or anywhere now, I had another $5.
I lost your voice here.
Did you get that?
No, I say that again.
Whenever I'm at a grocery store, I am giving an extra $5 because I'm blessed by still working. I'm not rich by any means, but an extra $5 and asking them to pass it forward.
And the brave souls that are doing the work, that are going out there and giving our food to us.
Right. So every chance I get, I'm doing what I can to help. Even on my way home from Portland at 2 rest stops, I didn't touch the people. I didn't come near them, but there were homeless people, and I put $5 in each one of their cups. And I don't normally do that, but I think this is a time where norm is new. And so we have to figure out what to do and help our fellow citizens as best we can.
What about, I was thinking the other day about, they closed the homeless shelters down, and there's no toilets for them. I was thinking about doing a renegade compost toilet system with all the sawdust we have at the mills. It would be, somebody could navigate that. I mean, it's just,
I don't think that would be very cleansely. Most of these people that are homeless have other problems. They're addicts and things like that. I think the best thing you can do is call the sanitation people and ask them to put out porta potties.
Okay, everybody, on that note, we're going to drop the subject and cut it out. And so we're so blessed to have you as our as one of our stewards here in Port Townsend with the herbs side of things and the teas. Stay hydrated, everybody. I will repost this as soon as I can. And don't forget, I have a concert tomorrow with Smoke Jane at 7:30 on my Facebook channel. We're going to keep you dancing and giving you an update with Denise every Friday. Thank you so much, Denise. We really appreciate you.
You take care, Jeff.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's a really beautiful time to learn about staying hydrated. And I'm going to go get my sauna today. I have a sauna in the garage, a little one-man sauna, so I can stay heated. And that's it. Going to do some more technology today, learn more, and get better. So I really appreciate it, what you're doing, and everybody checking in with me, and staying lucid and happy, and taking care of the children. Get them outside, let them run around with your animals, and there's a lot we don't know. So do a lot of praying and have some candlelight on. The best candles are beeswax. So if you got beeswax candles, go for it. And we'll get through this, everybody. So see you next Friday, and tomorrow night I'll be live on with Smoke Jane. And here's let's see if I can get the Smoke Jane poster here. Brown paper ticket, tip jar for Smoke Jane. And so we can all be artists and bring you beautiful music. Oh, I've got a birthday coming up next week, April 2nd. We're going to have a Zoom chat birthday party. So come on in, play me a song. And I'm turning 62, and that's No Fool on 62. And I love you, everybody. I'm going to take off. Okay, here we go. Cranking it up. She goes for